I know that you're wondering why I am still wearing a face mask. Because we're still on pandemic. We need to keep safe. I am Dazzle, your tour guide, and this is my colleague.
Hi, I'm Marijan, your sweet tour guide.
So we have a sweet tour guide. How interesting! And so our next one is super handsome tour guide. It's
Hello guys, is it me? Oh yep, it's me. I'm Kuya Christopher.
we wouldn't forget our another handsome tour guide. It's Kuya Kenron. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Hi, I'm Kuya Kenron, your gorgeous tour guide.
We're not done yet. There's more. And our next one is
Hello, this is Ate Katrina. I hope you will enjoy our tour.
and our lastly, it's
Shamel, I got you, Dazzle. Yup, I'm Shamel, your most beautiful tour guide.
now that you know who will be your tour guide in this trip, did you know what we're going to explore? We're going to explore the Philippine period literature. Yes, you heard me right. This will be a wide tour, so I hope you will learn a lot and enjoy our tour. And so what are we waiting for? Let's go!
So, yes, I will be your first tour. You didn't forget about me, right? Your most beautiful tour guide. Just kidding. And now I gratefully will guide you in your first journey, which is learning the culture of Filipinos during the pre-Spanish period or pre-Hispanic era in Philippine literature. Before, homes in the Philippines were made of wood, bamboo, and nipa palm, and were known as bahay kubo or nipa huts. Their method of dressing in male clothing was known as karangan for the upper part and bahag on lower part. Additionally, they wear putong for headgear. Filipino women, on the other hand, dress in saya for the lower half, and abaro or kamisa, which is a jacket with sleeves. Equally important was their music, because they are music lovers, and they were very good at using handmade instruments such as cymbals, brass gong, flute, etc. On the other hand, there were 8 considered major languages at that time, which was Tagalog, Ilocos, Pangasinan, Pampangan, Sugbuhanon, Hiligaynon, Maguindanao, and Samarnon. Meanwhile, their written literatures were the Indarapata at Sulaiman and Bidasari, and the Hadiyong.
Spanish period. It is known that the Spanish were able to colonize of the Philippine states in 1565 during the time of Miguel Lopez de Legazpi, who was the first Governor-General in the Philippines. Literature started to flourish and expand during his time. This his birth continued unabated until the Cavite Revolt in 1872. The Spaniard colonized of the Philippines for more than 3 centuries. Philippine literature was born in Spanish. There had been a rich literary tradition in the islands before the Spaniards arrived, but it was the Spanish who started to publish those tales and stories. The works of Rizal, the best-known Filipino writers and the national hero, and a result of this intercultural process.
The National Heroes Committee recommended Jose Rizal, Andres Bonifacio, Emilio Aguinaldo, Apolinario Mabini, Marcelo del Pilar, Sultan de Patuan Codarat, Juan Luna, Melchor Aquino, and Gabriela Silang. Spanish influence is evident today in law, religion, education, language, the arts, music, cuisine, and customs, which have been adapted and blended into the present-day Philippine culture. Spanish was the language of government education and trade throughout the 3 centuries of Spanish rule in continuous the country's lingua franca until the first of the 20th century. Doctrina Cristiana, 1947, Nuestra Señora de los Rosario, Libro de los Cuatro Primeras de Hombre, and Spanish in Tagalog, Ang Barlaan at Husipa.
Hello everyone, today we'll be talking about the Enlightenment period. Did you know that Enlightenment period started in 1685 to 1815? And today I will give you a background on this period. The Enlightenment, also known as the Age of Reason, was an intellectual and cultural movement in the 18th century that emphasized reason over superstition and science over blind faith. Using the power of the press, Enlightenment thinker like Isaac Newton questioned accepted knowledge and expressed new ideas about openness, investigation, and religious tolerance. Through Europe and the Americas, many consider the Enlightenment a major turning point in Western civilization, an age of light rebellion. Now, we will talk about what are the important things that happen. Then the Enlightenment include a range of ideas certain of the value of human happiness. The first weight of knowledge obtained by means of reason and the evidence of the senses and ideas, such as natural law, liability, progress, toleration, constitutional government, and separation of church. Let's talk about the first hero in this period. The first hero of the Enlightenment was Isaac Newton, who was an innovator of modern science, and he founded the theory of gravity. He believed knowledge was not only written in the Bible but also about observing what happens in our surroundings. The influence of this period, the Enlightenment, precede numerous books, essay, innovation, scientific discoveries, laws, wars, and revolution. The American revolutions were directly inspired by Enlightenment ideas and respectively mark the peak of its influence. And now, let's talk about their language by this time. French has established itself as the language of nobility, and a European language cultivated people, while Latin was increasingly associated with the church and with the scholarly profession. These are the books of the Enlightenment period. Enlightenment Volume 1 by Peter Gray in 2013. The Enlightenment in America by Henry F. May in 1976. The Crisis of European Mind by Paul Hazard in 1935. The Religious Enlightenment by Dave Sorkin in 1790. And lastly, Enlightenment Constituted by Jonathan Israel in 2000.
Now that you know what happened in the previous period, let's go with the American regime. But before that, let me introduce again myself. I am Dazzle, your 5th tour guide. The Filipinos conquered and colonized by the Americans. But did you know that we had a great leap in education and culture? They let us learn and use the English alongside the Filipino language. The Philippine public system was introduced to us, and free public instruction was given to the Filipinos. The literature during the American period was considered the imitative of American model. Like poetry under the American rules still followed the style of the old, but had consent that ranged from free writing societal concerns under the Americans. Those are the examples of stories, poems, novels, and that's our end of our tour. My name is Jan Dazzle. your fifth tour guide. I hope you learn a lot. And the next one is...
Hello everyone! Again, I'm Mary Joy, your sweet tour guide. And for today, I'm going to guide you for our next destination, which is the Japanese period. But before that, I'm going to say that just keep yourself calm and enjoy your trip because I'm going to discuss the history background of this period and how Filipino literature affects under of this period. So, are you guys ready? Let's go! Japanese period starting the year of 1941 to 1945. And do you know that this period gave us an advantageous effect on Filipino literature? Because it experienced renewed attention. Because writers in English turned to writing in Filipino. Manlaya, who used to write in English, that turns to write in Filipino because of the strict prohibition of Japanese regarding to writing in English. And as the weeks passed by, this week Liwayway was placed under of the strict surveillance until it was banished by a Japanese named Ishiwara. And do you know guys that Filipino literature under of this period was given a chance to break? Because many wrote plays, poems, poetry, short stories, and everything. And topics and themes were often about life in the provinces. So we're going to discuss the poetry under of this period. You know guys that there has three types of poetry. The first one is haiku. Haiku is mostly like Japanese because it has 17 syllables. 5 syllables on the first line, 7 syllables on the second line, and 5 syllables in the third line with a total of 17 syllables in each. The another one is tanaga. This is a short like haiku that has measured and rhyme in every word. Each line has also a 17 syllables with a logarithmic meaning. And the last is the karaniwangan niya. This is a useful form that commonly Japanese used because popular poem written in this period was the best. I already discussed the Philippine background history of the Japanese period and some of the common poetry under this. Let's proceed for the Filipinos drama literature under of this Japanese period. So under of this Filipino drama was Francisco Soc Rodrigo, Alberto Concho, and Narcisco Pimentel. Besides, we found the organization of Filipino players named the Dramatic Philippines. Writers under Filipino dramas are Jose Maria Hernandez, Francisco Soc Rodrigo, Clodoaldo del Mondo, Julian Cruz Balmaceda. Together with their work, Panday Pera by Jose Maria Hernandez, Pula sa Puti by Francisco Soc Rodrigo, Bulaga by Clodoaldo del Mondo, and Sino Ba Kayo? Dahil Sanak, and Higante sa Patay ni Julian Cruz Balmaceda. We already know the Filipino dramas during the Japanese and who are the writers or the main writers among these. Let's proceed for the short stories of Filipino literature during the Japanese period. The short stories during the Japanese period was the field of the short story writing during the Japanese occupation because many wrote short stories. Among them are Brigado Batong Bakal, Macario Pineda, Sirtin Giniginaldo, Liwayway Arceo, Narcisco Ramos, and Gloria Guzman. And we're lucky to have this Filipino literature because we got the best award in the year of 1945 and is chosen by the judges of groups of judges that composed of Francisco I. Casiano, Jose Esperanza Cruz, Antonio Rosales, Clodoaldo del Mondo, and lastly is the Teodoro Santos. Also was a big news because we are very proud for our literature, for our some Filipinos under this guarding of this period because we got the Peace 3 prizes, and there are Narcisco Reyes by his work which is Lupang Tinubuan, Liwayway Arcios with her work which is Uhaw na Tigang ng Lupa, and lastly, and VM Gonzalez with his work of Lungsod Nayon at Dagat-Dagatan. Yes, since we already really finished on discussion on the Europe period and how it affects our Filipino literature under this period, I just wanted to say that I hope you guys learn while we're traveling and while I'm discussing here. And I hope even just a little thing, even I have a rough discussion under this topic, I hope I can fulfill your knowledge about this. So, before we go to end, I just want to say that thank you for your cooperative to join our team in Tabanis Prayas. Once again, be prepared for your next destination.